Hello, I am Despon, and this is The Breakdown, and with me is...
Noted lounge singer Bill Murray, here to sing the Star Wars theme song. We're here to finally cover a domination match. The first two in the Breakdown series were TDMs. You're facing Crixarks.
It's very true.
The king himself, the king of comedy.
He has chosen to start in a scout.
A Sting, presumably it's a burst scout, because I know he likes burst. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually sticks with that throughout the match. What do we have here? You got a Tensor Scout, you got a drone bomber on your side, a couple of bombers on the Imperial side, Razorwire and Legion, and here we go.
Type 2 Scout is my preferred ship for this map.
Whoa, wait, stop. Why do you have concentrated fire?
Well, sometimes you just need to concentrate your fire. That's all I'm going to say. Sometimes. For those moments, you want to have concentrated fire.
No, I get it.
Because I know it's horrible. I'm fully aware of that. And I honestly have no idea why I'm still running it.
And if they have them blow D field right at the time, that's 6 seconds of misses. By the way, how many shots did you land on Crixarks that engagement?
Probably, I don't know, 0.
Yeah, the answer is less than 1. Cyber Zombie flying an Imperium again. This is the second straight breakdown where we're seeing him flying an Imperium.
You got a whole bunch of ships just swarming around B at this point.
This happens a lot in domination games where both teams will kind of almost tacitly agree to take the off nodes. A was taken by the Imperials, C was taken by the Republic, and then everybody just has everybody goes for a roll in the hay at B, which stays white for like, a billion hours until somebody takes it. Oh, and you just killed Crixarks.
Yeah, I did, yeah. The swarm is one of the reasons why a few seconds ago and right here, I think I kind of tried to duck down beneath the satellite to get a better look at what's going around and around and around, instead of trying to just chase in a circle.
The last minute or so of the game is what GSF looked like before bombers were introduced. It was just a bunch of scouts swirling around nodes.
Sometimes whenever that starts happening and there's just a big swarm of people around B, it is definitely worth looking at the off node that the other team holds to see if there's a lot of presence there, and if there isn't, you can swoop in and hopefully strip that node, which is, I think, kind of what I'm trying to do right here.
Big crit hit on Crixarks, and
that was why I was running concentrated fire, by the way.
Yes.
I'm not going to say that this is a particularly good co-pilot ability. It's not hideously awful, but it's also not great.
All right. I mean, it's not Hydra Spanner. It's not Nullify. It's not Lingering Effect. God, what a joke that is.
In that last little exchange, Crixarks, after having been killed by me, was smart enough to immediately get back to A and take me out there, and has held off my team from capping A for quite a while here.
Yeah, you killed him, and he got back to A very, very quickly, thanks presumably to a hyperspace beacon dropped by Yui.
Yeah.
Yeah, good cooldown management on the part of Crix. Generally dodging whatever people are throwing at him and keeping everybody's attention. It was smart of him to, like you said, just really just as soon as he died, just rush back to A.
Yeah. A couple of seconds can make all the difference in a match like this.
It's hard to overstress how important a beacon is in a domination match, especially a close one like this.
Speaking of which, we did have a beacon on my side, and luckily I get to make use of it there. Hyperspace beacon, super important.
Speaking of which, we're 4 minutes into the game, and your team still does not have a gunship.
Yeah.
That's probably a problem with your comp right now.
At least one ion gunship would have been pretty helpful to deal with the mines.
Oh yeah, just one. Just one even.
Yeah. And unfortunately C briefly fell here, and I had to divert course to get over there and make sure that we at least had one satellite.
So this ends up being a theme throughout the match. C goes white thanks to Velsha. Velsha stuck himself at C, I'm assuming it's a he, stuck himself at C the entire time and manages to get it white or at least distract people long enough that your team has to divert resources to defend C instead of, say, attacking A or C multiple times throughout the game, and it turns out being very crucial.
I'll point out that concentrated fire actually helped right there.
Really good kill on APR, CT, whatever, needs to buy a vowel.
Apricots.
Before...
that's what I'm guessing.
Is that what that is?
I think I figured it out.
That might be the most... Okay, my mind might actually be blown right now.
Satellite secured.
Velsha, unfortunately for them, self-destructed, and my team was able to recap C, but as you can see up at the top, A and B are definitely still enemy-held territory.
And I should say, as an aggressive scout in a domination match like this, it's very difficult for one to bounce between nodes the way that you're doing right now, because you're running retro, so you don't have a travel ability.
Yeah.
Nice sleek little piloting through the metal stand right there.
I'm amazed that I didn't fly into something at that moment, actually. It totally was not planned. We get to see a little of the toughness of bombers here. They can absorb a lot of shots at times, particularly from clusters. The clusters are not great against bombers.
Still no gunships, although you do have a pike on your team.
Thank goodness.
Right now, your team's in kind of a precarious situation. This is one of those, like you've got multiple people, one or two people attacking your off node, so resources are getting diverted there, and it's hurting your ability to capture either A or B. So
and I was afraid it was going to turn into a 3-cap at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
that.
It's almost expected given the talent on the other team. And I could have sworn you were going to get Yui on this one. You overshot him. Yeah, you overshot him and got one. You know, if you had gotten one more hit in.
Yep. That's very frustrating.
Ow.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a situation where if I had been running a burst pods build, would have been a lot better right there.
Yeah. Maybe Scrab's old build, burst pods with barrel roll and double turning. That would have been a really good play on a match like this.
More bombers, more bombers, more bombers.
Mm-hmm. All nodes flashing. Your off node is getting attacked at the moment, and it appears that you have about 3 people there, fending off whoever's attacking the node, which looks like Velsha again.
And all of a sudden, we've flipped B and C.
A really good play to flip B, but I just want to keep on the point that that's a really crucial play that Velsha's making.
Yeah.
For his or her team, basically to attack the off node and take the attention of 3 people on your team.
Yeah.
When we do the stat breakdown at the end, his line's not going to be too impressive, but keep a note of that every time that you see Velsha at C. That was a crucial role played in this game.
I mean, technically right there, if 2 of the 3 people at C had realized that Velsha was not going to cap that sat and was just circling it, the other 2 people could have put pressure somewhere else, and it would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, keep one evasive pilot or one bomber there. But just think of what would have happened if we'll just go with he, didn't attack C. All of that, those 3 people probably would have diverted to B, and you would have kept B quicker.
Yeah.
Of course, that's where team communication comes into play, because what happens when the Imperials decide, okay, there's only one person here, let's send more people to C to try to cap it.
Yeah.
You know, what if Velsha says, okay, hey, there's only one person here, I can't kill him, but maybe somebody else can. All of a sudden, C goes down, so.
Yeah.
Many different ways this match could have gone.
It's also worth recognizing that with Velsha in a Type 1 scout, that's offensively circling around a sat is not a good situation for a Type 1 scout because they don't really have the kind of firepower for in-close fighting that will enable them to take out a lot of people in those tight turning battles around a satellite.
Getting very hard for you to land a hit on Crixarks here.
Yeah.
As you do the dance around C. So you go for a juicier target, what appears to be a RFL scout that immediately dies.
Under concentrated fire, by the way.
Yes. Are you trying to be a trendsetter? Is that what you're doing?
If I could set that trend and everybody started using concentrated fire, that would be awesome because they would all be so much less effective.
As soon as they all switch, you go back to Wingman.
Absolutely.
There you go. Here's Velshi at sea again. And that's the third time that we see Velsha attacking C. Just picking a role and sticking with it.
I mean, if nothing else,
a lot of people's attention.
It's also preventing my team from going and attacking A, because they're held up at C and having to keep that solid green.
Yeah, I mean, we'll think of it this way: like if they were defending, if they weren't having to defend C, they could defend B, leaving you free to attack A.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that don't survive under a node, there's a strike fighter.
Yeah.
Probably stock, as I see K turn there.
We can still win this.
Yeah, it was looking like there was a slim chance that my team would be able to catch up at this point. Working out the mental math of that while engaged in a firefight is not easy.
If the nodes don't change, it almost comes down to kills at this point.
Yeah. I take a quick look at A to see if I can get over there and at least try and flip it, but there's a bit too much stuff going on for me to handle alone. And with no backup, I just would have died. So
this is kind of crucial. Like you make the defensive play here and decide to chase Crixarks when he decides to attack B.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if things would have turned out differently had you just ignored him and gone for A anyway.
Well, it would have helped if I hadn't slammed into the veins of the satellite there.
You had gone one game on the breakdown without actually crashing. I think we might need to put up the one of those workplace safety signs that says that this many days have passed since our last workplace accident. We might need to do that with you and self-destructs. A was pretty heavily guarded last time I looked, but even if you manage to get A white for like 5 seconds,
that's all it would take.
Like that. That's all it takes.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. It's hard to tell right now what's going on over at C at this point. It's flashing. There's no turrets up, so obviously they're still contesting it pretty heavily.
Spoilers. It's Velsha.
Yeah, still flying around over there.
Here's your final score: 1,000 to 991. Extremely close. A few kills here and there clearly would have clearly was the difference. As I said, if you look at Velsha's stat line, 5 kills, 7 deaths, only 4 objective points. And I know people like to look at objective points a lot as a way of looking at contribution in a domination match. But here's a clear example where it really didn't really tell the whole story as to what Velsha's contribution to the match was, because he only got 4 objective points. But in terms of contributing to the objective, which is helping his team maintain nodes, it was pretty crucial because of the fact that he was able to draw so many of your teammates over to C, who could have been better used elsewhere, either attacking or defending B once you got it, or attacking A and pulling it neutral, if only for just a brief time, which clearly it was just a 9-point difference this game. That clearly would have been the difference.
Like, all my team really needed was one bomber around C, and that would have solved the circling Type 1 scout problem in a big hurry.
Well, if we're going to talk about ship composition or team composition, where were the gunships on your team?
Yeah, it's a good question. One gunship also would have been... if we had one gunship positioned at the lower door on the north side, the north facing of B, which also gives them a pretty clear line to get over to C when necessary, that would have been very helpful. One ion railgun.
Oh, you mean like the northeastern door?
Yeah.
I think just one ion gunship positioned in that tunnel would have really done a world of good.
If you're flying Imp on this map, AB is your best bet, and if you're flying Pub, BC is your best bet, because the lower doors into the bowl area, into the B area, are the best spots for gunships to set up and have an effect on the match.
You would have gotten B a lot quicker if there was just one gunship on your team.
Yeah, ship composition is a huge determinant in the success of your team.
Apricots. My mind is still blown about that, by the way.
I hope that's really what that is. I'm pretty sure.